وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, the month of Ramadan, everyone is talking about it. We're all preparing ourselves for it in one way or another. And I would like to dedicate today's Jummah to talk about this a little bit in more detail to ensure that we are prepared for Ramadan prior to Ramadan. You know how important things are in our lives. For example, if anyone is traveling somewhere overseas, how long the preparation takes. Let's say, subhanAllah, those of us that will be going for Hajj this year, we know that the process has already started a few weeks ago, a few months ago, just to go for Hajj in the month of August, September, etc. So the greater the destination, the greater the preparations. Similarly, if there's a nikah or a walima taking place, how much preparation does that take? You have to go book a hall, you have to come here, look at this, if you want to rent this place, right? I recommend getting this place, for example, right? You get your food and everything else is planned out. You don't wake up in the morning, the walima, and say, okay, let's get ready, and okay, Hajj, ala passport ke dore, and this is and well. No, you prepare from before. And this is the purpose of today's talk, so that we can develop this mentality so we could be well prepared for this Ramadan before Ramadan. Because quite honestly, if we're just going to live our lives now as we are, and we expect to wake up like for Sahri or Suhoor, and we're going to expect that, okay, this Ramadan will be the best Ramadan of our lives and all of that, I am telling you that's not going to happen. Ramadan is literally an annual opportunity given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is a privilege. Yes, it is a privilege for us to be able to witness, experience the beautiful, amazing month of Ramadan. So the title of today's presentation, or the dars, whatever you want to call it, is Preparing for the Month of Ramadan. So today we will talk about the concept of looking forward to Ramadan. It's very important, and we'll talk about that more inshallah. We will talk about developing the mindset for the month of Ramadan. And there is a slight difference between looking forward to the month of Ramadan and then developing the mindset. There is a difference. It's not everything just in one thing. There is a difference between. And then number 3, just to make it simple, short and simple, directly to the point, is we will share some practical advices from now. From today, from after this Jummah, what are some of the things we can do to prepare for the month of Ramadan? That's the goal, inshallah. So there are just a few practical advices for the month of Ramadan. So we will talk about some practical advices that we need to implement from now so that we're able to benefit from the month of Ramadan. Just as we know for everything else, for Hajj, you do certain things beforehand so that you're able to, first of all, do your Hajj in a good manner, etc., walima, nikah, etc., so that the event is taken care of correctly. Similarly, from now we have to do these things so that we're able to benefit from this month of Ramadan, inshallah. Because the month of Ramadan is not just for us to, okay, the month is here, is gone. It's like a bus going by or like a train going by. No. It's something so much more greater than that. It's holistic. It's absolutely amazing. And the promises of this month, we'll talk about inshallah in the next few slides. So looking forward to Ramadan. When it comes to creating some change in our lives, right? Let's say I need to improve myself and I need to outline a certain bad habit in my life. Okay? In order for me to make some positive changes, I need to accept what's going on. I need to admit that, okay, I have this problem. I need to have the mindset, I need to be mentally prepared in order for me to make some positive changes in my life. So first and foremost, before we get into the practical advices and all of that, it's the first step is looking forward to the month of Ramadan. And honestly, this is part of preparing for the month of Ramadan. If we're not looking forward to it, we're not preparing for it. And this is a step that we may overlook and say, it's not so important. No. Just as we look forward to other things. Again, I'm going to use for the same examples for Hajj and Walima. Hajj, Walima, for example, right? We constantly look forward to we look forward to these things, and then when we look forward to these things, we develop this motivation, and then we're able to make some sacrifices. We're able to sacrifice some sleep, we're able to spend some more money, etc. How is that going to happen? By looking forward to it in the first place. So it's important to look forward to Ramadan and to cultivate our yaqeen. To cultivate our yaqeen. I'm using the word cultivate for a specific reason. As a farmer, okay, a person that wishes to throw seed again, or aka paniri again, right? There has to be some cultivation of the soil. Okay? There has to be some cultivation in order for us to break up the ground and allow it to be prepared so that we can plant some seeds in there. You can't just throw seeds on barren land and then expect it to grow. No, there has to be some cultivation. There has to be some hard work that needs to be put into this. So, what exactly am I referring to that we need to cultivate in our lives, including myself, is cultivate the yaqeen. Cultivate the promises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We know of the virtues of the month of Ramadan, but we need to read up and go through the virtues again. Remind ourselves, why am I looking forward to the month of Ramadan? Oh, because of this virtue. Why am I looking forward to fasting? Because of that virtue. And part of preparing for the month of Ramadan is reading up or refreshing our knowledge of the virtues of the month of Ramadan. For example, I'll just give 2 or 3 examples here. Because today's talk is not intended for virtues. It's a bigger picture. Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam said in one hadith, من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan with iman and with this hope of reward, ihtisab, to have hope for reward, غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whatever sins this person has, ما تقدم من ذنبه. All the sins that this person has will be forgiven. Cultivate that. Develop the yaqeen that you know what? When I will fast, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do this for me. من قام رمضانا إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whoever stands in salah in the evening, in the night, in the month of Ramadan, again with iman and hope for reward, غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. This person's sins will be forgiven. Subhanallah. It is up to us to refresh our knowledge. Open the Riyadh al-Salihin. Open the books of virtues. To read the virtues of these blessed days and nights of Ramadan. And develop the yaqeen. It doesn't end there. We have to have the mindset that, you know what? Allah is going to make this happen. That famous narration that we will talk about through Ramadan is that at the end of the month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself takes it upon Himself to reward the person who fasted. وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ. I will recompense this person. I will compensate or reward this person myself. It's similar to the boss paying you your salary himself or herself versus direct deposit or ADP or Intuit, whatever floats your boat for payroll, right? There's a big difference here. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes it upon Himself to reward you. This is the type of mentality we need to have. That if I fast, my sins will be forgiven. If I stand in Taraweeh, in Qiyamul Layl, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive my sins. And at the end, and there are so many virtues. Every compulsory act is rewarded 70 times. Every nafil act is rewarded as if we're doing it fard. So many virtues, subhanAllah. Read up on them. Refresh in your memory. Open the books of virtues and read them and develop the yaqeen and say to yourself, Allah will make this happen as long as I do my part. So this is what it means to looking forward to Ramadan, that we're just like a sale. Okay? Whatever floats your boat, Black Friday or whatever, there's some sale going on, right? There are people that drive across town to buy tomatoes for 50 cents a pound. Every the $1.5 pound, it's $50 a pound. Tomato, right? Tomatoes, for God's sake. We developed the yaqeen for tomatoes to save $1 per pound. Allah Akbar, anyway. 50 cents a pound, food for less, for example, or Miguel, right? Yeah, it is, mashallah. That's why people go for it. But Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, the sale of all sales. Like, the yaqeen we need to have that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless me Himself. Developing the mindset. Subhanallah. It is important for us to have the correct mindset. And there's a difference between looking forward to it and then developing the mindset. And what do I mean by developing the mindset? There are 3-4 points over here that I have. Number one, just like every other act of worship, we should not look at the month of Ramadan, alayyazu billah, as a burden. Like, right? Like, I have to fast again for the month of Ramadan. Like looking down to it, having this mentality of saying to yourself, oh my God, I have to do this all over again. No, don't look at it as a burden. Look forward to it. It is a mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It really is. So this is one way of developing the correct mindset, is that analyze how you analyze Ramadan. Ask yourself how you view the month of Ramadan. Am I taking the month of Ramadan as a burden? If we are, then I'm telling you we're not going to benefit whatsoever. But if we are optimistic, positive, looking forward to it, and we're saying, Subhanallah, I get to fast. Subhanallah, I get to come pray Taraweeh. Subhanallah, I get to pray my tahajjud before suhoor, for example, mashallah, right? So many people do this, mashallah. I get to wake up for suhoor, for example. The ajr behind suhoor. Don't look at it as a burden, look at it as a mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and as a privilege. Number two, try to take off time from work. Free up your schedule. We know HR wants us to put in a notice 2 weeks or 3 weeks before, however your HR clicks, right? Instead of saving up on vacation days to blow our time everywhere else, right? Use your vacation time in Ramadan. This is my advice. Instead of saving up for on your vacation days, sick days, whatever, take off time. If you can, take off time in the month of Ramadan. And this is part of doing it from now, because if you do it now, like literally today or by Monday, chances are, inshallah ta'ala, it will happen. And there are countless examples that I know of that people told me that because the common comeback is like, Yasir, they don't give me a day off even. Try it. If we approach this situation with ikhlas, with sincerity, hoping that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us, it will happen. There are countless examples of people telling me that, Yasir, I never get a day off, but I pray 2 rakats, I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help me, and I put in my request for days off, and subhanallah, for the first time in 10 years, they give me like a week off, or 2 weeks off, or whatever, for example. Like normally, they don't do it, but subhanallah, they did it this time. And I'm telling you, every Ramadan, at least 10-15 people tell me this. So try to put in that notice and say, you know what, give me a week off, or like how much ever time you can, inshallah. Developing the mindset also includes setting realistic goals. Keyword realistic goals. I'm not asking that, okay, we have this laundry list of things that we're going to do. This, and this, and that, and this, and that, and try to boil the ocean. Right? We're trying to do so much that you're trying to boil the entire ocean. No. Take a cup of water and boil a cup of water instead. Instead of boiling the entire ocean. Good luck with that, right? So instead of trying to do all these things at once, set realistic goals. For example, taqwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that fasting has been prescribed for you so that you could increase your taqwa. That is and should be a realistic goal in our lives. Okay. Number 2, giving up bad habits. Right. Those of us that smoke, those of us that put naswar, aka I call it the chundi, right? The chundi that we know. It's a good opportunity to give it up. Right? All of us have things that we need to work on. Work on these things. And say, you know what, this Ramadan, I will, do this. For example, those of us that are still listening to music, make it a goal that, you know what, this Ramadan, from today, inshallah, I will stop listening to music because it is haram. There's no justification behind it. I tend to say to people that try to justify music is that, why don't you play a song from the khutbah in the masjid? Right? Music is halal. Are you serious? What's haram is haram. We're not going to get into that right now. The point is, if we're listening to music, admit it that it's haram, it's wrong, and then stop from today, and that could be realistically a realistic goal for the month of Ramadan. That, you know what, from my life now, I will stop listening to music. Right? Just set realistic goals for yourself. Taqwa, giving up a habit, right? No more chundis, right? No more pinches, right? No more stogies or cigarettes, right? In South Africa, they used to call it hubbly bubbly. Hubbly bubbly refers to hookah, right? These kind of bad habits, give them up. And realistic goals. If I have not established salah in my life until now, Ramadan is a perfect opportunity. That, you know what, from Ramadan, no matter what, I will not miss one salah for the rest of my life. Realistic goals. So, practical advices for now. And when I say like keyword and capital, now. As I said in the beginning of my talk, that it's not like just like Hajj, just like the walima. There's 2 examples I'm giving over and over again, relating back to these realistic examples, right? When you go for Hajj, you prepare literally months in advance. Walima, months in advance. Okay? And arguably, that is a lifetime opportunity. Once in a lifetime, that happens, right? But Ramadan is extremely important. Absolutely. It's a privilege. It's something that we as Muslims tend to take it for granted. So we need to start working on this right now. And the first advice that I have for myself first and everyone else is that sign off from social media. Sign off from social media. I've seen many people do this online, right? I'm signing off, and if anybody that wants to contact me, here's my email, right? If the email comes to me. If something's on fire, they're going to call you or email you. Sign off. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, right? All of these things. Right? Sign up. From now. If you do it from now, you will realize how much free time you have. So sign off from social media. Number 2, being mindful of the effects on the heart. What do I mean by this? Everything we see has an effect on our hearts. Everything we listen to has an effect on our hearts. Everything we speak about, and literally we're the first ones listening to it, has an effect on our hearts. For example, when you're fasting, 2 p.m., 104 degrees, your coworker is drinking your favorite Gatorade. That's not going to have an effect on you. You see it, and you're like, man. Right? But then your iman is like, no, like go for it, mashallah. You know, stay strong, you got it, right? There's no debate of whatever we see, it has an effect on us. That's the reality. It does. If we're looking at haram, it is going to affect our hearts. If we're not looking at haram, we're like, for example, looking at the Quran, or looking like, if we can abstain from looking at haram, that is, subhanAllah, one of the ways we can really prepare for the month of Ramadan. Same thing, what we're listening to. What we listen to has an effect on us as well. It does. And I'm not even going to try to sit here and debate or try to convince you that, hey, by the way, everything you listen to has an effect on you. It does, we know that. If we're going to listen to music, it is going to have an effect on us in our hearts. A bad effect. You can't justify it. If we're going to listen to backbiting, it is going to have an effect on us. If we're going to listen to all the haram that exists, yes, it will have an effect on us, a negative effect on us. Same thing, whatever we're talking about. If I'm talking about haram, promoting haram directly, justifying haram, etc., that's also going to have an effect on me. Also, whatever I'm going to eat, if I'm eating haram, of course that has an effect on us. So be aware of what we are doing in our lives that is affecting our hearts directly and indirectly. And this is one of the reasons why I brought social media first, because of this. That when we cut off social media, a good percentage of haram is stopped from us. Right? A good percentage of haram is gone. And then we're not involved in like hurting people and namima and backbiting and all of these things. It's closing one of the doors of affecting our hearts in a negative manner. One other piece of advice, and I honestly have a positive assumption. When I sit here and talking about these things, honestly, I'm not claiming as if everyone is like in haram and all of that. No. This is فَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. We are reminding each other. So, read the Quran in translation. Those of us, mashallah, that are, if you're only reciting Quran with Arabic only, then let's take it to the next level and read the translation with it. And those of us that have not been opening the Quran throughout the year, guess what? This is an opportunity for us to do it. The month of Ramadan is also the month of Quran. And as Sheikh Muhammad, a few Fridays ago, he talked about this clearly. How we are able to benefit from the month of Ramadan is by developing a strong connection with the Quran. So, from today, read Quran with translation. Inshallah ta'ala. From today. This is part of preparing for the month of Ramadan. Last but not least, be aware of satanic inclinations. Shaitan is going to work up your emotions and make you believe that so many Ramadans have passed. What is Ramadan going to do in your life? This is satanic waswasa. To have you give up hope in the month of Ramadan before the month of Ramadan. Be aware of that. Don't allow anyone, when I say anyone, even your social circles, don't let your friends even tell you. Don't let them tell you that you've been rolling up all year, so what's the big deal? Right? You've been doing this all year. You've been listening to music all year, so like what's the big... No. Have the courage. Don't develop this mentality. Don't fall into Shaitan's trap before Ramadan. Have mental strength. And don't fall for the wasawis of Shaitan. Don't let Shaitan tell you. In other words, don't allow Shaitan to have you give up hope in Ramadan a few weeks before Ramadan. Don't let that happen. Have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is merciful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is loving, caring. He loves us. It is shaitan that continuously tries to build this gap between us and our Allah. Yasir, you've been doing this all year. Like, what's like now? What? No. Look forward to Ramadan and be aware of the wasawis of shaitan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah wa bihamdihi, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
On the sister's side, there's a sister here. I was standing by the gate and asking for some money. I've asked her to come inside. I would advise that we don't give her any money until I talk to her. Inshallah ta'ala, I will talk to her, and whatever help we can give, we'll give her, inshallah. But anytime there's someone standing at the gate, please let me know, because that's not the way we do things here. If someone needs help, we bring them in respectfully and we help them. Inshallah.